If you want
Lyman joins us now. He is the National Secretary General of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum. Thank you for coming on this morning. Again, we're focusing on this security matter. In fact, I mean, when you look through this kind of headline, you see go on saying it's civil war. You automatically just say, well, wait a minute. If he's giving it this kind of interpretation, we've got a serious challenge on our hands here. Any way out of this?
Well, you know, if you don't put your hook into the water and you still wish to catch a fish in the water, you can't catch that fish because you have not sunk your hook into the water. We've been told, we've seen, we understand. Common sense tells us that something is still being pushed under the carpet.
What could that be?
That's one. Secondly, there is that issue of statesmanship, leadership, where you have to have a will to execute. That too still becomes a dogged issue every time you start thinking about solutions to situations. We've heard no nation today is that secure anyway. And the fact still remains that security is never 100%. But by and large, if I am seen to be up and doing, even if I failed, the testimony will still go that he tried. He did his best. But his best was not good enough. Now, for the past, since independence, let's put it that way, Nigeria needed to have a systematic record of who is a Nigerian. I keep repeating these things. If you don't get first things first, you just cannot get your finger on the answers. No Nigerian president or head of state was a deliberate calculation of a desired leader who was on seat. They were all accidental presidents or head of states. Only need to go back down memory and see how they evolved. They were all accidental. And that is one of the problems Nigeria has been coping with, because every one of them who comes has his hands full, and he did not itemize nor prioritize the work that he wants to face. Because you cannot do all.
Yeah, but does getting to that seat accidentally remove or incapacitate
you were not
them
prepared for it. That is what I'm trying to say.
So they cannot just pick on
It's
one thing and achieve?
No, if you are not prepared for it, everybody pushes everything he thinks you should do, and then at the end of the day, you have a full plate, and you don't even know where to start.
Some of them for 8 years.
Of course, they can even go for 12 years. You
Wow.
still get the same result. My octogenarian leader saw it all too, but there were points when he himself was trying to play the game, hoping for the best. When he is out in public, he tries to calm down our nerves, that all this is this way, not that way, not the way you think. But for a head of state who executed a civil war, and successfully at that, there would no winner, no vanquished thing, still lingering this way or that in minds of a lot of elites. He comes up today with this. So if you have a civil war, what do? You rise to the occasion. He is a statesman.
Yeah.
He ought to be one of those people who tell the leadership openly, this is the way to go.
Is he doing it, do you think?
Do I know? I never get to the Asa Rock. We never know what they do. But in the normal structure, they are the statesmen. The president, incumbent presidents, always fall back on these leaders because their whole library of experiences. when things become so dogged for him, he sneaks in the night and gets to them. So do they get that patronage from the presidency or not? It's another thing.
Do you see us successfully separating ethnic, religious issues from this kind of matter and tackling it headlong?
How do you separate yourself from spiritualism as a human being? You can't separate spirituality. For example, now let's look at the institution of democracy. The Western democracy has successfully severed religion, even morality, out of the practical democratic operations. Religion has nothing to do with governance or democracy or politics or what, but how do you, 95% of human beings have a fallback provision on religion, on God. That unseen force, that supernatural force is always there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Now, because of our own situations of a third world state, that is, every third world state belongs to that pack. Now, at the same time, you have the first world order coming in. You have the global transformation, where they still want the whole world to go in the same wavelength. But forgetting that this one is just crawling, this one is just being born, but that one now can make a 100-meter sprint in 9 seconds.
So are you saying that in tackling the insecurity situation we have in our hands, we cannot but play politics, bring up religion issues or ethnicity issues in facing them?
For all that, you see, we have the traditional structure of how we used to live, and we used to live peacefully. Now, where is this traditional structure? Where is the Oba? Where is the Emir in the scheme of things? These people are the basic primary custodians of who is who, which will supplement that same statistics of how many Nigerians do we have. You can have an approximate, very close approximate estimation of who is who if you maintain these institutions, but you have negated them to the background. Now the state in function cannot muster the courage to know exactly how many Nigerians do I have to manage. Right from there, your problem starts. Now, when you talk about who is coming into Nigeria to do whatever he wants to do and sneaks out, you just cannot put your finger on him. You can't track him. You only realize that the damage or the deed has been done. So now we cannot even be proactive because we are always caught with our pants down.